Hey, so, it's MMFQ Death, and welcome to another random vlog. Today, we're sitting in a car. So, I had, no sleep last night at all. I went to sleep at, 5 or something, 5 or 6, and I got woken up at, 8, and then had a bunch of errands to do, and I work midnights tonight, which sucks. But, so, recently, I've been obsessed with Dragon Ball. Literally, it is to the point that it's just a obscene obsession. So a while back, after Xenoverse first came out, I downloaded that because I've always been a huge Dragon Ball fan, and I started playing Xenoverse on my PC back when I had one, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. The Day 1 edition had Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, all that good stuff. And I didn't really make it that far into the game. I maybe made it to level 10, something like that. And then I had so many games on the PC, and I was doing so many Let's Plays that I didn't really have any spare time to just play a game that I wasn't LPing. And I didn't really know if it would be a good game to kind of LP because I wasn't familiar with any games past Budokai Tenkaichi, which I know was not a great game to LP, at least not for the style that I was going for at the time. Anyway, long story short, I downloaded Xenoverse on the Xbox One, bought it, and then I found online the Day 1 edition because I'm obsessed with completion, so I had to get Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and stuff like that in the Day 1 edition. So I had to find that on eBay, which I ended up finding for $10, which really isn't that bad. And then I beat that game, completed that. I have all but 4 characters left, and I was like, well, all right, now I need another game. So I downloaded Xenoverse 2, and I've been playing that. And meanwhile, versus all these games, okay, all these being 2 whole Xenoverse games, I have been fucking obsessed with Dragon Ball. Obsessed to the point that it's ridiculous. I have watched Battle of Gods and even the horrible movie that is Resurrection F, I don't know, in the past month, probably 8 times at work, while I'm working. It's pretty upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. I've also watched Dragon Ball Kai twice, and then Dragon Ball Z because the Buu arc wasn't out on Kai. I know it's still airing, but it wasn't finished, so I was just watching the Dragon Ball Z version, which, since I've been watching the Dragon Ball Z version versus the Dragon Ball Kai version, back to back, it was really weird to see how many odd little details in Kai got changed from Dragon Ball Z, really odd details. But whatever, it's a phenomenal show. So getting to Dragon Ball Super, okay, I have known about Dragon Ball Super for a long time, and I've really wanted to watch Dragon Ball Super for a long time. And I've never been a fan of reading mangas or watching anime that's in Japanese and watching with subtitles, which for a lot of people is oh yeah, then you kind of suck as a person. Okay, I agree with you now. So the English dub recently came out of Dragon Ball Super, in case you weren't aware. So I was watching some of that, and I think it was up to episode 17 when I started of the English dub, and I started reading the manga because I was okay, I know of some of the characters, but I don't really know any of the arcs or what's going on. So I figured, okay, I'll read the manga, which is usually pretty close to the anime, from what I was seeing online and everything, with Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball being super specific because the anime and the thing were both directed entirely by Akira Toriyama. But anyway, so I started reading the manga, and it was phenomenal. I've never read a manga before in my life, and now I've probably read 85. I read all of the Dragon Ball Super manga up to chapter 24, because 25 still, that I know of, isn't out in English. I read half of the Dragon Ball Z manga. I read Dragon Ball AF, both Young Gigi and April Fools, and then I started reading Dragon Ball Extreme, I think, or EX. Yeah, EX. But my goal is to read all of Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Z, all of that manga, and I heard that there's even a GT out, but I'm kind of waiting on the colored version of the Dragon Ball Z manga to be finished, because I know it's currently still almost complete, before I start reading the Dragon Ball Z manga. But anyway, so reading the Dragon Ball manga for Super, I I was like, wow, this is really, really good. And it goes like all the way up to the almost end of the Future Trunks arc. And spoilers, by the way, in case you haven't watched Dragon Ball Super and you're waiting for the English dub like what I was doing. But holy God, I was like blown away by what they did with these characters. Like, it's always been kind of controversial what the deal is with Super Saiyan God and then Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue now. And it's always been like super controversial on what is stronger, because it always seemed like Super Saiyan God was much more powerful, but then there's power scaling to take into effect in Dragon Ball. So you kind of have to put it into perspective of different characters. So Super Saiyan God Blue, Super Saiyan Blue is obviously stronger than God. I think it's been proven at this point that it's definitely stronger than God, because it's basically the God essence absorbed and then controlled into a Super Saiyan form. So it's definitely stronger, but it's much harder on your stamina. And in the manga, it's actually really interesting because Goku and Vegeta both, Vegeta not showing when he got the transformation, are both able to go Super Saiyan God at will. And that kind of negated the infamous moment during the Universe 6 tournament where we saw the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, which was a phenomenal moment in the anime. Absolutely phenomenal. But I'm not gonna lie, I like the manga's interpretation better. I think that the whole being able to transform into Super Saiyan God and using it as like a prior form, and then like going into Blue to like, you know, drain less stamina was a phenomenal plot device by Toritaro. I thought that was like super, super Dragon Ball-y. And I definitely see why Toriyama told him to write the manga, because he, like, literally that's something that I would have pictured seeing in like Dragon Ball Z, versus what's happening in Super where he's using the Kaioken, and I felt like that was just kind of a cop-out. I mean, it was really cool, don't get me wrong, I think it's awesome, but I feel like it's just kind of a cop-out, because when Super first came out, I remembered reading a lot that Toriyama wanted to, the whole point of like the Super Saiyan God and then Super Saiyan Blue is to get rid of all of the ridiculous amount of transformations in Dragon Ball Z. Like Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan Full Power, 4th grade, Super Saiyan 3, and then, yeah, and now we're getting all of these weird transformations in Super, which kind of makes me like, well, we didn't get rid of any, because we still see Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 3, and we also now see Super Saiyan Blue, and then we saw Super Saiyan Rose, and then now we're getting hinted at more transformations. So I just felt like it was kind of weird, that instead of just using an existing transformation that's already in the lore, we just added Kaioken to Super Saiyan Blue and kind of copped out there, which still, again, incredible. Just want to point that out. Incredible. Loved it. But I think it's weird. And then leading off from that, I have a question. So do you guys think that we're going to get a new transformation for Goku in the Universe Survival arc? Because I've been watching a lot of videos from like Geekdom 101 and Expert Games, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I've been watching a lot of videos from them, and they both have this theory that's pretty much the same that I kind of wanted to touch on, and I really like it. It has to do a lot with the title sequence for the Universe Survival arc, where you see Goku fighting Jiren, and he is obviously channeling some sort of Kaioken, but then ends up fighting him in his base form after going from Blue to Blue Kaioken, and then you see this like red flash everywhere, and he's not Super Saiyan God. He just kind of goes back into his base form and just keeps fighting, and it looks like he's not struggling at all, which to me would be weird. So the current theory is that he gets like his potential unleashed, and it's like a Ultimate Goku, similar to Ultimate Gohan. And I think that would be really cool, but again, I feel like it's a recycle, kind of like the Kaioken over, you know, like the Super Saiyan God and then using Blue. I feel like it's less strategic, it's less creative. It's kind of, I mean, it's cool because Gohan and his father would both have their potential unleashed at that point, and that would be super awesome. And I have always wanted to see an Ultimate Goku like we got Ultimate Gohan. But I kind of want... I personally want a new transformation for Goku. I want something to make Goku the strongest again. Like, I want that moment that we had in Dragon Ball Z, like during the Frieza arc where he became a Super Saiyan and he was the only Super Saiyan. And it's like, okay, Goku not only broke his limits, but he fulfilled a destiny for his entire race against the guy who destroyed his race, even though he doesn't necessarily feel bonded to the race. And then we had Super Saiyan 3 during the Buu arc, and it was like, wow. Like, look at this. He broke every limit that we didn't even know existed, and now he's the only one with that transformation still to date. The only Saiyan that can go Super Saiyan 3. Like, there are theories out there that maybe half Saiyans can't even have that kind of potential to go Super Saiyan 3. Maybe it's only full-blooded Saiyans. Why doesn't Vegeta use it? Maybe he can't. Maybe he can, and he just realizes that the form is not very reliable, so he doesn't. And especially now with Super Saiyan Blue, there's really no reason to. But I want a new form like that. I want that super cool transformation. And I feel like the Universe Survival arc, even though we've seen a new transformation every arc so far, with Super Saiyan Rage for Future Trunks, which was really cool. But again, kind of a cop-out. I just want something that makes me look at Super like I looked at Dragon Ball Z, because it's a phenomenal show so far. I really like the arcs. I like the storylines. I love the expansion of the whole Dragon Ball Z universe. Like, you have the different universes, you know, the different gods of destruction, Zeno, however you say it. I personally think it's Zeno, but whatever. I want something, though, that makes me look at it and goes, yes, this is the moment that I've been waiting for. Like, this is the defining moment of Super. Because to me, the two moments that define Goku in Dragon Ball Z are his Super Saiyan and then his Super Saiyan 3 transformations. I feel like those are like the two biggest moments for me, as far as like Goku being a just phenomenal character. You know what I mean? Not like a personal moment, but like just super strong moments. And I just really want to see that for Goku in the new arc. So what do you guys think? Like, do you think that there should be another transformation? Do you think that the potential Unleashed thing would be cool and he should just be Ultimate Goku and then have no need to transform? Which goes into a whole different series. That does potential Unleashed include God Ki? Like, what is that? Does it unleash all of his godly potential now that he has access to God Ki? Like, how would that even necessarily function? Would he then be stronger than Beerus? Because Jiren, if he beats Jiren, Jiren is stronger than his god of destruction, as stated, and he beat Beerus in an arm wrestling match. I mean, and to beat Beerus, which at this point has been like the glass ceiling, that we basically been told that Goku and Vegeta will not surpass him. Would you, if he was to surpass him, would you rather have him surpass him in his base form or in a new form? And I'm not saying something crazy like Super Saiyan fucking Purple or Super Saiyan 4 or something like that. I just mean, like, I don't really know what kind of transformation I would want, but I want to see maybe like a perfected Super Saiyan Blue that then uses all God essence and like doesn't have blue. So basically it would be Super Saiyan Red but with the blue hair, like style, like the Super Saiyan hairstyle but with red. Like, but you're still slimmed down, you have, you know, pure God Ki, you're not using mortal Ki at all anymore, so you're completely divine. Which I know Super Saiyan Blue is already pretty much that anyway, like you're already using only divine Ki, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, I just want to see something that gives Goku, that just makes him him. Because I feel like so far Super has dumbed him down a lot. He's a lot more stupid than he was in Dragon Ball Z. I haven't really seen any moments that made me go, yeah, Goku is the same guy that we all know and love. I've seen more where it's like, well, he's kind of an idiot. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Any opinions at all? If there are, you know, leave them in the comments and stuff like that. And what do you want to see out of the Universe Survival arc? What do you think is past the Universe Survival arc? Because I know that Oob's been brought up, and we've already seen that we're going to get to the end of Z, so that's definitely going to happen. Do you think that we're going to go past that? What would be past that? What do you think we're going to see in the future from Dragon Ball Super? Because I hope that this show keeps running on for a very long time. I am very much so enjoying it. I can't wait for the English dub to catch up so that I can rewatch that. Currently, I'm rewatching all of Dragon Ball, and then I'm going to watch Dragon Ball Z again, and then maybe even Super again, but I can't really watch Super at work because the way I have to work and watch something, I can't really just work and read subtitles while I'm working, but I can like kind of listen to stuff in the background, so I may not be able to rewatch all of Super again super quickly. But I don't know, I really like the show, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that do too. So I'm kind of curious on you guys' opinions. Go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching. If you made it this far, awesome. Comment something like frickin', I don't know, Dragon Ball, the 6-star ball is ballin'. Alright, anyway, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Yada yada yada, all that jazz. Check out some other stuff that I used to do that was actually cool instead of these stupid vlogs. And if you guys have any ideas for other videos, then go ahead and leave those in the comments below. Quick final note, I have made a couple vlogs. I made one to do with the Elder Scrolls, because I went through an obsession with that for a while, but I never posted it because I didn't do it live like this, and it takes a lot to edit on my iPad and do all that crap. So that will come probably sometime soon. If not, I'll probably just redo it live on YouTube. That way it just goes straight up. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a nice day. It's been MMFQ Death. Deuces.